iRacing Season 4 is here now with us, and we're back for another video. And so we're kicking off the start of the season at week 1 at Sebring, and we're switching it up a little bit. We're in the BMW GTP this week, and I just thought I wanted to try the GTPs again, as obviously mainly on the channel so far we're learning the GT3s, mainly in the Porsche GT3. But I kind of wanted to go back into GTP racing a little bit. I'm not totally finished with GT3. I'm hopefully planning on doing both side by side, but I kind of wanted to start this week with the GTPs, and as you can see now I've got a brand new livery which looks absolutely amazing, but more on that later in the video. So we're going to start in P3. This was my first race of the brand new season, so putting it P3 when I haven't done many GT3 races recently was quite I was glad to know that I still decently got the pace to kind of be in the top flight. But we're about to go green here, starting P3. Hopefully we can get a nice and clear start. We're going to go lights out, and I just somehow survived that. I didn't even notice that happened when the race started, but nonetheless we managed to survive that somehow. I really don't know how. So we're now into P2, so we're now chasing down the Porsche GTP ahead of us, and we've already got a decent gap to P3 and the cars behind. Most of them kind of got slightly tangled up with the Porsche that was in P2 originally, that nearly took me out. So obviously they didn't crash out, but lost quite a bit of time. But we're kind of trying to gap away. The P1 is absolutely rapid. I mean, he's already got about a second and a half, 2 seconds on me already. And that's kind of the staple throughout this race. But here you can see the brand new livery, and it just looks absolutely amazing. I love the blue design, and you know, it's kind of got that wavy pattern which fits with, you know, the kind of theme of the channel here. And so massive thanks to my friend, who you can check out in the comment section if you're kind of interested in you know, if you want to commission a livery for anything. He's more than happy to help, and he's a great livery designer. So going back to the race, P2 for now, which I'm more than happy with. P1 is just absolutely flying off. P3 behind us is kind of catching us. We're kind of just in the middle of P1 and P3 at the minute. So a fairly decent start, up one position, so you know, you can't really argue with that. And as I say, first kind of race back in the GTPs for a while, so it's kind of just about finding my feet, staying competitive. Hopefully in the top 5 finishes will you know, I'll be more than happy with that. But yeah, I mean, fairly clean start, apart from nearly getting wiped into oblivion on the green flag there. But yeah, so far so good. Just kind of trying to keep it clean. We don't catch the GT3s fairly fast in this race, so we don't really have to worry too much about them. But obviously, as you can see, P1 2.3 seconds ahead already. He is absolutely blistering fast. I'm not even trying to catch him at this point. I'm kind of just imagining that I'm leading the race and just trying to build the gap to the car behind as I go quite wide there on the exit of turn 1. But we've got quite a few different camera angles in this race. I was really kind of interested in spicing up a bit and getting some different types of camera shots, so hopefully you'll enjoy them. As you can see here, we've kind of got the driver's eye point of view, which kind of looks towards the apex and certain corners and stuff, which I think looks really cool. And hopefully I can do lots more of those kind of things in future videos if you guys enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, very simple start. Got quite a lot of space to P1. It's just kind of about keeping it clean. I'm trying to build the gap now to P3, so obviously, as I say, we've got quite a couple laps before we get to the GT3s again. But P3 and P4, P5 fairly close. They seem to be breaking away from the pack further behind them, and that's kind of battling a little bit. But jumping forward now, we've got this Porsche GT3 who was fairly quicker than P3 and P4. He's up about 4 positions at this point, and he's going to absolutely send it from about 25 years
Left
away,
side, clear left.
and just kind of hits me out in the corner.
Left,
Luckily, we don't
clear
manage to
left.
spin out too bad, but I just kind of have to concede and let them both pass. I mean, on the replay here, it's just, I mean, I don't know, it's not the worst move ever, but I was just not expecting it because he was just so far back, and you know, if I don't kind of get out of the way, we're both screwed. I mean, he went into me straight away, so So yeah, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm kind of really interested to see what you guys have to say about that. But flash forwarding a bit now, we're now coming up to the GT3 traffic. And one thing I do love about this track is the traffic. It's very compact, so that kind of makes it really kind of interesting to kind of, you know, find the angles, find the gaps to fit through to then go past the GT3s. But yeah, so at this point I'm now P4, obviously P3 and P2 kind of got ahead of me at that incident. Obviously I can't really do much about that, and they've kind of just, you know, built a decent gap. I was really kind of hungover on that incident and was kind of quite annoyed, so, you know, my lap times weren't fairly consistent and the pace was just kind of slipping. I don't think I had much damage at all. Like, I think the car was fine, but yeah, I was just quite annoyed by that move. So yeah, as I say, just let me know in the comments what your thoughts on that incident are. But yeah, I think he just dived it a bit too aggressive there, but nonetheless it's finished now, and it's kind of not the worst move. So yeah, so P4, we're now chasing P3. The gap to P3 is 1.9, so still got, you know, a lot to play for. Just kind of about hopefully we can get past these GT3s without losing too much time. But yeah, so 7 laps into this race, it's not going too bad. But I've really got to say, I'm really enjoying racing in the GTPs again. It's obviously very different to racing in the GT3s, but yeah, it's just really enjoyable, especially on a track like Sebring, where, you know, it feels like a short track, and, you know, especially with all the traffic, when you get the traffic and you're racing in between the traffic, it's really enjoyable. And obviously it's Sebring as well. Everyone kind of loves Sebring, apart from the horrid track temperature, which destroys the tyres instantly. But yeah, so, you know, I think P4 at the minute, so far so good. You know, I've had that kind of little incident earlier on, but so I'm just kind of trying to consolidate my position and try and break away from P5 before we get into the heavy bits of traffic. Now that Season 4 is here, I will be trying to do fairly regular uploads. I want to kind of aim for 1 video per week, but I'm starting university again soon, so whether that will happen, I'm not sure, but that would like to be the aim. So we flash forward a bit here. We're now fighting P5, who's quite fast, and we're now kind of in the midst of the GT2 traffic, so managed to keep him behind. Got very close on the hairpin there. So we've got quite a few cars behind us. I think we've got 3 cars behind us, so that's P5, 6 and 7. So we're trying to break away now, but we've got a little bit of a chunk of cars behind us. And feel free to let me know what you guys think about these camera angles. I think some of them look really, really nice. It just kind of spices it up a bit, rather than just having my cockpit cam throughout the entire race, because that's just not really, it's not really entertaining as much as, custom-made camera angles, which just spices up a bit more. But going back to the race now, I mean, even just from this one shot, you can just see how many cars are now coming up. It's quite a traffic jam, and that's just Sebring for you, which hopefully it can be beneficial to me and not so much towards the guy behind. But yeah, I mean, just look how many cars there are, and this is just the beauty of multi-class racing. Really, it's so enjoyable, especially like when I'm in GTP. It's really nice to fly past the traffic, which is one of the things that I'm not really a massive fan about when I'm racing GT3s, because you're the slower class, and I really do enjoy being the faster class. You just got to not drive like a dick, really, and it's fairly easier said than done with the some people you get on the service. You really don't know nowadays. But yeah, got through that kind of chunk of traffic okay. We're quite a few laps into the race now, so it's kind of looking like a P4 finish. But yeah, I mean, as you can see from the camera angle, a few of the cars behind do lose quite a bit of time there. They were quite close to me before traffic started, so we probably gained about a second or two just from that. But yeah, we're probably about halfway through the traffic right now, so we've got quite a few coming up, so it's just kind of about timing it right, especially on this last corner. It's one of the worst places to get stuck in traffic, but I kind of just go deep on the entry and then kind of hook it in on the inside, and I find I don't lose too much time. And turn 1's also not a great place, so just settling in behind with a black Porsche ahead of us. And so Season 4 is quite a unique season. If you haven't heard, there's going to be quite a lot of 24-hour races, so hopefully if my schedule lines up, I'm going to try and do a couple of those 24-hour races, which would then make into some really good videos. And any kind of special events or just endurance races, I do normally stream those as well over on my Twitch, which you can find in the description. And I do also have a Discord server with a few other people in there. So if you just like talking about sim racing, or you want to share some things, then feel free to join over on our Discord, which is pinned in the comment section. And you can meet a load of like-minded people that sim race, watch sim racing. It's just a great little community server, so feel free to jump on over if you're interested in that. But as you can see here, fairly obviously the Mustang ahead of us is kind of blinking, so I was not really enjoying driving behind him. I mean, even there when I'm going past, he's blinking, which is very scary. But yeah, I mean, we are lap 18 now, so it's been a fairly smooth race. Just flash forwarding a bit here, and we've got the Cadillac behind us, which is kind of our main adversary now in this race. So just kind of trying to keep him behind, but he was fairly fast. But we did have a fairly decent battle. And as you can see here from the standings table on the top left of the screen, people are starting to pit now. I had another, I think, lap or two at least left in the tank, so I was able to extend it along with the Cadillac behind me, and I think at this point I'm now P2, so P1 must have not pitted as well. But the Cadillac is going to move to the outside and try and stick a move around the outside of that corner, but it's just never going to work. It's a very hard corner to stick it around the outside, and I just covered the inside. I'm fairly confident that I'll be able to keep the corner, and that is what happens. But you can try again on the outside of this corner as well, but I just kind of keep it to the inside, and like the corner before, the inside is very strong at this track. So I'm covering the inside, braking quite late, and it's kind of allowing me to keep it position. But he's fairly quick. I mean, we're having a fairly good battle, and he caught up quite a bit. So that's always good to see. You always want to have a battle in a race. You don't ever really want to be driving around
Coming to the pits at the end of this lap. Box this lap.
But yeah, as you heard there, we're going to be boxing this lap.
Slower cars ahead. These guys are busy fighting each other. And
there's quite a few cars ahead of us, so hopefully we can make it in unscathed. But yeah, in all honesty, it's been a fairly quiet race. The kind of major incident we had was at the start, which again I have no idea how I survived that, and just with the Porsche when they kind of dived it down the inside. But apart from that, I've kept it clean. I lost those two positions at the start, but yeah, we're now going to box this lap. The Cadillac behind is staying out, so we're going to be undercutting him. I assume he'll be pitting on the next lap, but we're going to exit the pit here. Obviously we don't take tyres because they just take too long, and obviously since the hypercar tyres got updated, there's just no point to take them now. But yeah, it's been a fairly standard race. I mean, I can't argue with it. I mean, I'll happily take a P4. Obviously, like I said at the start, I'm kind of now getting back into GTP, so my pace isn't fully there yet. But this is what happened to the Cadillac behind. Just trying to move on the Mercedes on the inside, and just gets caught on the curb, just hooks it on the inside curb, and just kind of unsettles the car. So that just kind of gifts us P4 really. I mean, disappointed not to be P2, but I think, for my first race back in GTPs, I'll happily take it. So still kind of chasing that win, but for a first race back, I'll happily take it. Nothing kind of major happened, so can't argue too much. Yeah, so P4 across the line. I'm very happy with that. And if you are new around here, please feel free to subscribe to our brand new channel. So any kind of things like that really do help. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.